After switching to home-delivered groceries during the pandemic, new data shows shoppers drifting back to Aldi to save on the cost of living.
Aldi just quietly stocked 10 products that most regular shoppers have walked straight past without realizing what they were looking at. Not because the products are hidden, but because nobody stopped to explain what makes them different, what problem they solve, or why the price attached to them should not be possible given what they deliver. These are not restocked staples or seasonal repeats. These are genuinely new arrivals that are already disappearing from shelves before most shoppers even know they landed. 10 products, starting right now. 10. Specially selected. Truffle infused olive oil. Most shoppers who love cooking have a complicated relationship with truffle products. The authentic version, genuine black or white truffle, oil-pressed or infused with real truffle, commands prices at specialty food retailers that place it firmly in the occasional splurge category, rather than the weekly pantry staple it deserves to be for anyone who actually enjoys cooking with it. The alternatives that fill the gap at more accessible price points tend to use synthetic aroma compounds that produce a chemical sharpness completely unlike the earthy, fungal depth that real truffle delivers in a finished dish. Aldi's new Specially Selected Truffle. Infused olive oil lands in a different position entirely. The base is a genuine extra virgin olive oil rather than a refined neutral oil used in cheaper truffle products, which means the flavor vehicle itself is already contributing to the finished result before the truffle component even enters the picture. The infusion produces the kind of earthy, layered finish that works across pasta, eggs, roasted vegetables, and finishing drizzles in a way that synthetic alternatives simply cannot replicate. Former Aldi employees who have previewed new specially selected arrivals before they hit the floor describe this as one of the products generating the most immediate staff interest before the shelf was even fully stocked, because the quality-to-price relationship is obvious within the first use. The practical applications are broad enough that this is not a specialty novelty with limited use occasions. Any kitchen where olive oil is already in regular rotation has an immediate and daily use case for a truffle-infused version at this price point. The challenge is finding it on the shelf before it disappears, because the limited-run nature of specially selected arrivals means the first wave of stock does not last long once shoppers discover it. What is sitting right alongside the new specialty oils in Aldi's recent product arrivals delivers something entirely different, and it is something that a specific and growing category of home cook has been waiting for Aldi to add for years. 9. Earth-grown jackfruit. Pulled style. Plant-based eating has been one of the most rapidly evolving spaces in grocery retail over the past several years, and it has also been one of the most price-punishing for shoppers who want to incorporate plant-based proteins into a regular weekly routine without spending significantly more per meal than conventional protein options would cost. Aldi's Earth-grown line has been building out its plant-based range consistently, and the new jackfruit pulled style product represents one of the most practical and versatile additions the line has made. Jackfruit in its pulled preparation mimics the texture of shredded meat in a way that other plant-based proteins do not, producing a finished result that works across tacos, sandwiches, grain bowls, and slow-cooked applications where the texture of the protein is as important as its flavor contribution. The seasoning profile in the new Earth-grown version has been calibrated to work as a standalone preparation rather than requiring significant additional seasoning to be usable, which addresses one of the most common frustrations with jackfruit products that arrive under-seasoned and require extensive kitchen work before they deliver on the flavor side of the equation. At the price point Aldi has established for this product, the Earth-grown jackfruit pulled style comes in dramatically below comparable jackfruit products at conventional grocery stores and specialty health food retailers, making the one meal per week plant-based swap a genuinely affordable habit rather than an occasional experiment driven by specialty store proximity. If you have not subscribed yet, now is the moment to do it. This channel covers every new Aldi arrival, every limited-run product, and every finds item worth tracking down before the shelf empties. Because what is coming at number 8 is something that Aldi shoppers in the snack aisle have been asking for since the category exploded in popularity, and the version Aldi just introduced is better than most of what the premium brands are currently charging significantly more to deliver. 8. Chaucer Dark Chocolate C. Salt Clusters. chocolate snacking has moved decisively in the direction of dark chocolate and inclusions over the past several years, with consumers increasingly seeking out products that combine genuine cocoa depth with textural interest from nuts, seeds, or caramel components. The premium snacking chocolate category that emerged from this shift is now one of the most heavily marked up segments in the grocery snack aisle, with brands charging prices that reflect sophisticated packaging and specialty retail positioning far more than the actual cost of the ingredients inside. Aldi's Chaussure line has long been one of the brand's most quietly impressive quality over deliveries, and the new dark chocolate sea salt clusters represent the line's most compelling addition in the current product cycle. The base chocolate carries genuine cocoa intensity rather than the waxy, milk-heavy composition that cheaper chocolate products use to reduce manufacturing costs. The sea salt application is calibrated to enhance rather than dominate, landing at the balance point that the best premium versions of this product type achieve, and that the cheaper alternatives consistently miss. The cluster format itself, combining the dark chocolate base with a mix of seeds and nuts bound together in irregular pieces rather than uniform molded shapes, produces a snacking experience that feels genuinely artisanal in a way the price would not predict. Former Aldi product reviewers and online communities devoted to tracking new Aldi arrivals have described this as one of the most shareable items in recent memory, with shoppers buying multiple bags specifically because they know the first bag will not make it through a single weekend. The limited-run nature of new Chaussure products means waiting to decide is a strategy with a real and significant downside. Products in this line that gain traction among regular shoppers tend to disappear from the shelf before restock decisions get made, and the gap between first appearance and confirmed sellout at most locations runs shorter than most shoppers expect. What is coming at number 7 is something that hits an entirely different product category, one where Aldi's new arrival fills a gap in the store's existing range in a way that regular shoppers across multiple demographics have been actively noticing. 7. Specially selected whipped ricotta spread. Whipped ricotta, as a prepared spread, has been one of the most talked about additions to the specialty food category over the past 2 years, driven by its versatility across both savory and sweet applications, and by the way it photographs in the kind of food content that drives grocery purchasing decisions for a significant portion of the shopping public. Restaurant menus have featured it as a starter, home cooking content has showcased it across dozens of preparation styles, and yet the prepared whipped ricotta spread available in grocery retail has remained either expensive at specialty stores or simply absent at mainstream grocery chains. Aldi's new specially selected whipped ricotta spread lands in that gap with a product that former employees describe as one of the most immediately usable new arrivals in the refrigerated specialty section. The texture achieves the light, airy consistency that distinguishes properly whipped ricotta from a product that simply has the name without the preparation technique. And the flavor profile is clean and fresh in a way that holds up across both the savory applications, pasta, flatbreads, roasted vegetables, and the sweet ones, honey, fresh fruit, toasted nuts. The versatility is what makes this product genuinely compelling at the price Aldi has attached to it. A specialty food store version of a comparable whipped ricotta spread costs significantly more and serves a more limited range of occasions. The Aldi version enters the weekly rotation rather than sitting in the refrigerator as a special occasion ingredient that justifies its price only a few times per month. The specially selected range has a history of introducing products that quietly redefine what shoppers expect from that refrigerated specialty section, and the whipped ricotta is one of the clearest examples of that pattern in the current product cycle. What is coming at number 6 takes the conversation in a completely different direction, moving from the specialty food section into a product category that most Aldi shoppers have never associated with the store, but that this new arrival changes permanently. 6. Huntington Home Aromatherapy Shower Steamers. The home wellness category has been one of the fastest-growing non-food segments in Aldi's Finds rotation over the past 2 years, driven by consumer interest in affordable at-home spa and self-care experiences that do not require the kind of spending that specialty wellness retailers attach to their equivalent products. Shower steamers specifically have moved from specialty wellness boutiques into mainstream consumer awareness at remarkable speed, and the gap between what the leading brands charge for a set of shower steamers and what the actual ingredient cost of those products represents is one of the widest value gaps in the entire personal care category. Aldi's new Huntington Home Aromatherapy shower steamers arrive in a set that covers multiple scent profiles across a single purchase, including eucalyptus and mint combinations designed for morning invigoration and lavender-based profiles designed for evening relaxation. The tablet formulation dissolves at a rate that extends the aromatherapy effect across a full shower duration, rather than releasing the scent in a single burst at activation and then fading within the first 2 minutes. Former Aldi shoppers who previewed the product before its general release described the scent intensity as landing above what several of the leading branded shower steamer products deliver, which is the specific dimension that most shower steamer products fail on when the formulation prioritizes cost reduction over the actual aromatherapy experience. At the per-tablet cost the Aldi set produces when divided across the full quantity, this is one of the most dramatic price-to-quality gaps in the current new product cycle. The branded alternatives available at specialty wellness retailers and mainstream pharmacy chains deliver a comparable experience at a price that makes this Huntington Home set look like an error rather than a legitimate retail offering. Hit that like button right now if these new arrivals are making you want to rearrange your next Aldi trip entirely. Every product still left on this list is something most shoppers have not seen yet and will not find at this price anywhere else. One tap. Do it now. Because what is coming at number 5 takes the conversation into the kitchen in a way that home bakers specifically are going to want to hear about. And it involves an ingredient that serious bakers have been sourcing from specialty stores at prices that never made sense given how fundamental the ingredient is to what they were making. 5. Baker's Corner Brown Butter. Baking spread. Brown butter has been one of the most discussed flavor developments in home baking over the past several years, moving from a technique known primarily to professionally trained bakers into the mainstream baking conversation through food content, recipe development, and the kind of enthusiastic word of mouth that happens when home bakers discover for the first time how dramatically a single ingredient substitution changes the depth and complexity of a finished baked good. The challenge with brown butter in practical home baking is the preparation step itself. Browning butter correctly requires attention, timing, and a willingness to accept that the margin between perfectly browned and burned is narrower than most beginner and intermediate bakers are comfortable working with on a routine weeknight bake. Specialty food retailers have responded to this by offering prepared brown butter in various forms. But the prices attached to those prepared products reflect specialty positioning rather than the actual ingredient cost of browned butter. Aldi's new Baker's Corner Brown Butter Baking Spread addresses both problems simultaneously. It eliminates the preparation step by delivering the Maillard reaction flavor development, the nutty, toasted, caramel-adjacent depth that browned butter produces, in a ready-to-use spread format that performs across cookies, quick breads, muffins, and cake batters without requiring any additional kitchen work beyond measuring and incorporating. The flavor performance in finished baked goods matches what properly browned butter produces when a skilled baker executes the technique correctly, which means the product is not a compromised version of the real thing, but a reliable and consistent delivery of the same flavor outcome. Former baking-focused members of Aldi product communities online describe their first batch of cookies made with this spread as producing the kind of result that immediately retired their standard butter from baking applications. At the price Baker's Corner has established for this product, the brown butter flavor upgrade goes from an occasional special effort reserved for important bakes to a standard ingredient choice available on every baking occasion. That is the kind of shift that genuinely changes how home bakers approach their weekly routine. What is coming at number 4 is something the beverage aisle at Aldi has been notably missing until this arrival, and the product that just filled that gap is one that a specific and highly engaged category of shopper has been requesting through Aldi community forums for long enough that its arrival feels genuinely overdue. 4. Winking Owl Sparkling Rosé Canned Wine. Canned wine has moved from novelty format to genuine market category over the past 5 years, driven by convenience, portability, and the emergence of producers who take the format seriously enough to source and package wine that performs at a quality level the can format was once assumed to preclude. The premium end of the canned wine market now commands prices that make the format more expensive per ounce than plenty of bottled alternatives, which has created an obvious gap for a quality canned wine option at accessible pricing. Aldi's Winking Owl line is already one of the most recognized value wine brands in the store's product range, and the extension of that line into a sparkling rosé canned format represents one of the most logical and overdue product additions in the current cycle. The sparkling rosé profile, light, fruit-forward, with enough acidity to maintain freshness across a full can, is specifically well-suited to the canned format because the sealed single-serve packaging prevents the oxidation that affects opened bottles of sparkling wine almost immediately. The practical use occasions for a quality canned, sparkling rosé at Aldi pricing are extensive. Outdoor entertaining, picnics, travel situations, casual gatherings where opening and managing a full bottle creates more complexity than the occasion calls for, pool or beach settings. Where glass is impractical, all of these become effortlessly served by a product that delivers genuine drinking quality in a format designed for exactly those contexts. Former Aldi wine section employees describe the Winking Owl extensions as products that tend to develop loyal repeat purchasers faster than almost any other new arrival in the store, because the value proposition is obvious within the first pour and the repeat purchase decision becomes immediate rather than considered. What is coming at number 3 is something from a category that most Aldi shoppers do not think of the store as serving, but that this new arrival proves Aldi has been paying very close attention to. 3. Specially Selected Miso Ginger Ramen Kit. Ramen as a serious home cooking project has moved far beyond the instant noodle category in consumer awareness, driven by a decade of restaurant ramen culture, food media coverage of regional Japanese ramen styles, and the increasing availability of quality ramen components in mainstream grocery retail. The challenge has always been that building a genuinely good bowl of ramen at home from scratch requires either significant kitchen skill and time investment or access to quality prepared components that handle the most technically demanding elements of the preparation. Aldi's new Specially Selected Miso Ginger Ramen Kit addresses exactly that challenge. The kit format brings together springy wheat noodles with the right texture and bite, a concentrated miso ginger broth base that carries the depth and umami complexity that distinguishes a serious bowl of ramen from a basic noodle soup, and a finishing sauce component that adds the layered seasoning that completes the bowl without requiring the cook to source multiple specialty ingredients independently. The miso base, specifically, is where ramen kits typically compromise most visibly, either through insufficient depth from underfed fermentation or through excessive sodium that masks the actual miso flavor behind a wall of salt. The specially selected version delivers a broth base that former product reviewers describe as the closest to restaurant ramen quality available in a kit format at any price point accessible through mainstream grocery retail. The preparation time from kit to finished bowl runs under 15 minutes for a result that would take significantly longer to produce from individual components, making this a genuine weeknight dinner solution rather than a weekend cooking project. At the price Aldi has established for the kit, the cost per bowl comes in below the equivalent takeout option while delivering a quality level that makes the comparison genuinely competitive rather than a stretch. What is coming at number 2 is something that arrives in a product category Aldi shoppers have loved for years, but this new version takes that category somewhere the brand has never gone before and delivers a result that the regular shoppers who found it first are already calling the best thing in that section of the store. 2. Chaussure Ruby Chocolate Bar. Ruby chocolate is the 4th recognized category of chocolate after dark, milk, and white, developed through a specific processing technique applied to ruby cocoa beans that produces a naturally pink color and a flavor profile, unlike any of the 3 established categories. The taste is often described as fruity and slightly tart, with a berry-adjacent quality that emerges without any added flavoring, making it one of the most genuinely novel flavor experiences available in the chocolate category. The problem with Ruby chocolate for most consumers has been price and accessibility. Since its commercial introduction, Ruby chocolate products have sat at the premium end of the confectionery market, positioned as a novelty discovery item at specialty food retailers and high-end chocolate shops, where the unusual color and flavor story justify a price point that keeps most casual chocolate buyers from ever trying it. Aldi's new chaussure. Ruby chocolate bar changes that access equation entirely. The chaussure line has demonstrated across multiple product cycles that it can source and produce genuine quality chocolate at prices that make the product available to shoppers who would never pay specialty store prices for the equivalent. And the Ruby chocolate bar follows that same pattern into one of the most interesting and underexplored corners of the chocolate category. The flavor experience for first-time Ruby chocolate buyers through this chaussure bar is one that former Aldi product community members describe as one of the most surprising single bites available anywhere in the store's current product range. The berry-tinged tartness against the creamy chocolate base does not resemble anything else in the confectionery aisle, which makes it simultaneously the most distinctive new arrival in the chocolate section, and the hardest to predict whether a given shopper will love it immediately or need a second bar to fully adjust to what they are tasting. At Aldi's price for the chaussure Ruby bar, the cost of that discovery is low enough that the risk of trying something genuinely new in the chocolate category becomes essentially zero. Former shoppers who tried it on a whim describe buying multiple bars on their next visit specifically because the price made stocking up feel completely reasonable rather than indulgent. What is coming at number 1 is the new Aldi arrival that current employees, longtime product community members, and the most engaged regular shoppers are all describing as the single most exciting product to land on an Aldi shelf in the current product cycle. And the reasons it holds that position become clear the moment you understand exactly what it is and what it replaces. 1. Specially Selected Wagyu Beef Burgers. Wagyu beef occupies a specific and well-established position in the consumer imagination as the gold standard of beef quality, associated with intense marbling, extraordinary tenderness, and a fat distribution that produces a richness and depth of flavor that conventional beef cannot replicate regardless of how well it is prepared. The price attached to genuine Wagyu products at specialty butchers and premium grocery stores reflects that positioning in ways that place Wagyu firmly in the special occasion category for most households, something ordered at a steakhouse rather than prepared at home on a regular Tuesday evening. Aldi's new specially selected Wagyu beef burgers arrive as one of the most audacious product positioning decisions the store has made in recent memory. Because the premise of offering Wagyu-influenced beef burgers at an Aldi price point invites immediate skepticism from anyone familiar with what genuine Wagyu beef costs at every other point in the retail supply chain. The skepticism dissolves on the first bite. The fat marbling visible in the raw patties before cooking is the first signal that this is not a conventional beef patty with a premium label attached for marketing purposes. The cooking behavior, with fat rendering through the patty in a way that keeps the interior moist and rich across the full cooking time without requiring careful temperature management to prevent drying out, confirms that the Wagyu influence is real and functional rather than cosmetic. The finished burger delivers the characteristic Wagyu richness, a beefiness that is deeper and more complex than what a standard beef patty produces, with a texture that remains tender at a range of doneness levels that would tighten and dry a conventional burger. Former shoppers who tried these on their first appearance describe not being able to return to standard supermarket beef patties after experiencing the difference, which is exactly the kind of response that makes a new product arrival genuinely significant rather than simply interesting. The price per patty compared to what a comparable Wagyu burger costs at a specialty grocery store or a premium butcher is the final piece of the equation that makes this the most important new Aldi arrival in the current cycle. Former employees describe this product as the kind of item that defines a shopping trip, something a customer comes in having heard about and leaves having validated, and then tells everyone they know about before the next week's visit. The shelf life of first-run specially selected products. At this quality level and this price is short. Shoppers who wait to try it risk finding empty space where the patties were and a restock timeline that may not align with when they next need a reason to feel excited about a Tuesday night dinner. That is the complete list. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments which one of these new arrivals you are tracking down on your very next Aldi visit. Click the next video showing on the left right now to keep discovering every new product, every finds arrival, and every limited run item worth knowing about before the shelf empties. And if you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss what lands next.